Hello and welcome to MGP 296. I'm Kev, and with me this week there's Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello. Where's the other one?
He's not here.
Why?
Because he's poorly sick. Do you not watch his vlog? Of course you don't. Sorry. What a silly question.
I had stuff to ask him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why he announced to the world that the podcast wasn't happening this week, despite the fact it's just him not on it. Because he's tweeted out as MGP, I'm not doing a podcast this week. Here's my vlog from yesterday that explains why. And then an hour later, I noticed he'd done it.
Oh, I noticed it, and I thought people will realise that that's something's not right with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
silly old shit. Did I do the intro right this week? I feel like I've missed a word. Did I say
no?
hello
Yeah, sheepdog. Yeah, you missed sheepdog.
No, I think I missed a word before then.
I did
just say hello.
You did kind of stumble through it a little bit.
Yeah, because it felt wrong. It immediately felt wrong, as if there was. I think I've said hello in the wrong tone or something, and it's thrown me off completely.
With a question mark at the end.
Yeah, maybe. How are we all on this fine week, anyway?
I'm all right. I've got a cough,
right.
but I'm pushing through.
Do you need a week off like sheepdog?
No, I'm pushing through. Cough? No, I'll be all right. I've got a mute button.
Excellent. Anna, how are you?
There's been better weeks.
Has there?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Busy.
Anna's in full-on revision mode. She's actually revising right now because she's
Is
got. Hold on, let me consult my calendar. You have 2 exams next week, Anna, on Tuesday and Thursday, and then you have another exam Wednesday the following week.
I know.
See, I know when your exams are.
And then I have another 2 in June.
Yeah, don't think I've got those ones written down.
Well, I think you should.
I tend to not plan more than a month in advance because I assume one of us will be dead by then. Probably me for you killing me for generally being a toad. Anna's come very close to killing me in the last few days.
Yeah.
Because he stands at the door and just makes noises. Like, because
she's not giving me enough attention.
The computer's here, and then the door to the dining room and kitchen is like next to me. And because I'm like sat here, it'll just stand in the doorway and make weird noises at me. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And he won't leave me alone. It's like, it's
because you're not giving me enough attention. You need to give me a focused 10 minutes of attention, then send me off with a toy or something. There's no use.
I already have to do that with Andy. You can't afford to do it with you as well.
It works with him though, doesn't it? You give him a bit of attention, then give him something to play with and send him away. And with me, you just expect me to fend for myself, and I'm not really built for fending for myself.
You could do some tidying. That would be helpful.
Doesn't sound like a Kev kind of thing, really.
See, Anna, if you needed some help, you should have just sent me a message to send him over to me to look after him for an hour or 2. Put him on.
Come
on
out to play, Pab. We'll come out to play.
Yeah.
You should come to London with me tomorrow. I'm going up the London Eye.
Again?
With his children.
You're in London more often than you are at home these days.
I know. Tomorrow is tomorrow's going to be hideous though, because not because I'm with the girls, but because for you northern monster, Pab.
Me, yes.
With your luxurious ways and leading us into the world of first class travel. I've grown accustomed to it thanks to you.
Yeah.
And because we didn't plan this weekend until like right at the last minute, first class cost an absolute bomb.
Oh yeah.
But Virgin East Coast cost an absolute bomb. We're going on the homeless trains.
You go on the equivalent of a bus.
Yeah. The last time I went with this train company, well, it wasn't this train company. It was the one that went bust beforehand. But these are their old trains that they've just scraped most of the sick off of.
Yeah.
The last time we had to sit on the floor all the way home, and they stop at every station between Peterborough and London. What a journey that takes like 40, 45 minutes on a real train is going to take us an hour and a half each way tomorrow on a train where I won't have leg room. And that's if I've got the luxury of having a chair. You can't reserve seats. They can't guarantee there's going to be chairs.
Kevin, which means you have to stay awake, because last time we went with the girls, you fell asleep. You can't fall asleep with the two girls there if you're on that train.
Why, Lucy's 16. She can wake me up when we get there.
She's still a child.
The big advantage of this train company, as opposed to the real one, though, is because this one literally just shuttles back and forth between King's Cross and Peterborough. They're the end of the line, both ends. So as long as the train doesn't change direction while I'm sleeping, I'm probably going to be okay. And even if it does, I'll just stay on a bit longer. Whereas if I fall asleep on the proper train company, the quick one, I could wake up in Edinburgh.
That would be amazing.
It would not. If you got a phone call from me last night saying, like 10 o'clock last night, you know how I'm a little bit late home. I'm in Scotland. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but you'd have a camera. Oh my god, it'd be so funny.
Well, I might.
No, I'm not saying
edit
do
all that out. Edit all that. I'm going to London. Oh no, I woke up in Scotland. There you go. There's the clickbait. Woke up in another country.
Nice.
Be amazing. I could then do the same trick and accidentally wake up in Russia or somewhere by going on the Eurostar. Where's the furthest that goes? It's Amsterdam, the furthest that goes now, I think. So we could potentially, I could potentially accidentally end up in Amsterdam. Would you find that one funny, Anna, or would you be annoyed that I'd gone to Amsterdam without you? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Says everything.
Right, video games is one of the topics that we often discuss on this podcast.
Yes.
For the first time in many a long week, I don't think I've got any new ones to talk about. I'm still knees deep in Stardew Valley, which I'm not impressed with. I am impressed with the game. I'm not impressed with the fact that I've discovered it. The last thing I needed was another game that I can just play for like 40 minutes a day forever. Because it's not like, I already had one of those. I really didn't need a second one. And I have a second one. And I mean, it's a problem. I have downloaded Rocket League actually on the Switch as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
I haven't played it online yet. I've been doing a 3v3 league season. It's lots of fun. But I need to get that online. Put you in your place. We can have a Rocket League tournament when we're down in London in a couple of weeks. Yes,
I will be bringing my Switch. I would have thought.
Oh, I'm not going.
Why?
You're just going to sit on Switches all day. Well,
you can play too.
I'm not playing Rocket Cars.
Only because the last time we played, I absolutely destroyed you.
Because, Kevin, my controller was out of battery, and then you just went and put the ball in the goal.
Sounds
so you didn't actually win.
It sounds like that's the kind of talk that people say when they're setting up a rematch. So I think
don't want a rematch.
Can you play on local with the Joy-Cons with it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would have thought so.
Because we could have a
It would be split screen though.
I'll split the screen myself.
It would be split
screen.
Stanley knife. On the tiny screen wouldn't be useful, but I mean,
it'd be fine.
You can play like local, I think, with 2 switches.
Yeah.
So
we're already going to be having to do episode 300 of the podcast down there, all sat in a room together, even though. Pab refuses to adjust the numbering of the episode. I know we had started talking about games, but getting back to more important stuff, let me know on Twitter, folks, if Pab is an unreasonable man, because I just want to fake 2 episodes so that when we're in London, we can just say it's episode 300.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
No, last week you insisted that we kept the numbering in place.
What I'm against is just going from a particular number and jumping. If you want to put
this is now episode 298.
If you want to put if you want to put 2 5-minute episodes out somewhere in a gap midweek somewhere in between shows, then be my guest.
So this week is a 2-week mini series, Kev's Adventures in Stardew Valley, where I just tell you that I'm now got. I think it's Emily is my girlfriend, but I'm not happy with it because she's weird. Excuse me. I have a girlfriend in Stardew Valley now.
No, you don't. You'll be dumping her when you get inside.
Will I?
What I need her to
water the flowers.
You basically got.
Did you just suck your teeth? Are you a cartoon now? But yeah, if you want to, Anna, I'll dump her if you want to water the plants for me. That's fine. Anna, why do you keep disappearing?
Multiplying. I'm writing.
Well, focus on the podcast.
I've got.
We're having a
I'm writing
conversation.
about single-layered callus walls.
Well, stop doing that for a minute while I'm talking to you. Goodness me.
Will you water his plants, Anna?
No.
No.
Well, then I need
Look at
Emily.
yourself.
We'll see.
She isn't watering my plants yet anyway because I'm going to
yeah,
dump
but
her.
it's 2 players.
Once I've got Angela ready, I think Angela's the one.
Oh, she willing to do the watering, is she? Is that what it is?
Well, she wants to go down in the caves, but we'll soon convince her that watering is more adventurous than that, and she can just do the watering.
To be fair, though, you could send her down the caves, and you could do the watering.
No, I like the caves. She can water the plants and the chickens and stuff. Those lazy chickens that have stopped laying eggs, by the way.
Are they on strike?
Yeah, I give them food every day. They live in a life of luxury. They've got a heater in there, but apparently, because it's almost winter, we're not going to lay many eggs now. I'm lucky to get 2 eggs a day out of them. Poor old Emily will starve. I mean, I'm all right. 2 eggs is fine for me. But poor old Emily, she's going to not have the energy to get out there and water those flowers.
So, how's your sprinkler system coming along? Is that getting any better, or is it still bobbins?
I gave up on that and just decided to get a wife to do that job.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Invest your time in something different. Okay.
Exactly.
Fair enough. When are we doing some multiplayer in this? Whenever you get some time.
Now. Let's do it right now.
Not right.
Abandon this podcast, and then we'll continue in 20 minutes and call it episode 297. See? Join us next week, where we'll talk about multiplayer. Yeah. And that was it for me doing games, pretty much.
Is that it?
Just that, yeah. That and Rocket League. And that was it.
Strange, that's another game on that list.
Oh, no, there is another one.
Okay, go on.
There is another one. I played a snake game walking through the doctor's surgery, and Anna yelled at me.
You played a snake game?
Yeah, Snake versus Block. I was sat there waiting. Anna had a doctor's appointment.
Okay.
And I was on Facebook, and a Facebook ad got me. It's called Snake versus Block. And basically, you have a snake, and you have to navigate it around some blocks. But I managed to level this up even more to the point where I was playing this, trying to weave my snake in and out of all the blocks without crashing into them, whilst also trying to weave my way through the doctor's surgery waiting room. And I almost crashed into an old lady, and then my snake crashed as well. So it was like I was playing the game twice at the same time, and that was the only time I played it. But it was called Snake versus Block. And if you find yourself in a block-filled situation in real life and want to just sort of double jeopardy with this game, you can do it walking through a crowd of people, and it goes.
Okay.
So there you go, Snake versus Block.
I
don't want anyone to be confused. That isn't an augmented reality game. I was just playing a game on my phone whilst walking around, and it felt like I was playing the game twice. Don't go spend money on this free app because you think it's going to get you a headset or something.
Didn't you do some augmented reality recently?
I do lots of things, yeah. I had to go on it. Did I mention on the podcast I've used the HoloLens?
No, you didn't.
I've had to go on a HoloLens, and it's brilliant.
Yeah?
That's my official review of it. It is as good as it looked at those E3 demos all those years ago, and apparently is going to be ready for consumers within the next year or so. But yeah, it was. I actually did the thing where you just put a TV screen in front of you and decide how big you want it, and stick Netflix on it, and then you can move it around. And I mean, it genuinely does work that way. And
really?
it was pretty special. And you can still see everything that's going on around you while you're doing it as well.
Yeah. So I was a field of view, because I know a lot of people, when they first tried it out, were saying the field of view was very narrow, so to speak.
I guess maybe. I don't know. I mean, at the moment, the consumer unit is apparently going to be a more subtle headset. They've already got it to the point where the whole of the computer is now built into the headset. There's no big long cable like there was on the version they had at E3. Mm-hmm. It's now like you're wearing a VR headset. But apparently by the time it's ready for consumers, it will be thinned down, and it won't be cumbersome. And I guess at that point, it's not going to be blocking off your peripheral vision, and the screen in theory could wrap around there as well. I don't really know, but you kind of do have to look straight at what you're doing.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, that's kind of what you want, I would think. If you're the whole purpose of this, if you want to be fully immersed in it, then you'd use VR. The whole purpose of this is you're still in the real world as well. So if I've got the equivalent of a 90-inch Netflix screen 3 inches from my face, I want to be able to see Anna walk in the room to tell me off if I tilt my head to the side. So, because if it blocks out everything completely, then it kind of defeats the purpose of it being augmented reality in the first place.
That's fair enough.
But it was very, very cool. I only had like 5 minutes on it, but I was super impressed.
Yeah, it does look cool. But I mean, like, one of them dev kits costs like $3,000, is it?
Yeah, they're horrifically expensive.
Yeah. So I mean,
don't be buying one now, kids. There's very little in the way of actual software support for it as well at this stage. There was absolutely no sign of the Minecraft thing that they showed at E3, which was a bit of a shame. It could just be that this guy didn't have it because he wasn't developing games for it. He was using it to develop assisted living software. So it could just be that he didn't have games in it. But let's face it, if you are working in a job where you need to get one of these dev kits, are you genuinely telling me if the Minecraft game exists, you don't download it and have a little look? I think
you would.
You've got that full of every piece of software that currently runs with it, surely, because that's absolutely what I'd have. And he had Netflix on there, and he had all the stuff with like the calendar being pinned to places was all on there. And we had a little look at an educational app where we had a 3D human skeleton in front of us that you could then peel the skin off and have a little look. And it was very, very clever. But it could be a proper game changer if they can get it out in a decent size headset that has a decent battery life and doesn't cost an absolute bomb, because that's going to be the key. The fact that it's got a fully functional PC capable of doing all this built into it suggests it's not going to be a cheap bit of kit when it comes out.
No. But I mean, if it realistically is comparable to, say, a Vive, which on release was like what, £700-800. That didn't have a PC built into it. You had to have a PC on top of that as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at it that way, it might not seem as bad if you're in that case. But I don't know.
I guess the thing is, most people who are interested in something like this already have the PC. They don't necessarily need to go and get a second PC. And if they're charging the equivalent of a top-end PC plus a VR headset for this, if it's going to come out and be $2.5, $3,000, then it will just flop entirely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not £3,000 worth of impressive. But if someone said to me, "You can have one of these tomorrow for £500," I'd probably
I'd think about it.
£500 together.
Yeah, definitely.
But that really is me done now.
Yeah. So, what have I played? You may have noticed in the week I have started getting good at Fortnite.
I did notice Team Kev was improving. Team Kev. We're picking up a lot of wins, it seems, according to your Twitter.
4 this week. 4 in the week.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with myself. I didn't know I had it in me.
It's been a real sort of week where I started getting kills and started doing well and buildings improving. And
have you been Thanos yet?
No, I haven't been Thanos. I played one game of that and went, this is seriously overpowered, and just got lasered immediately as soon as he saw me. I was just trying to hide, and I was like, no, he's seen me. Run away. Just got lasered. It's only on solos, so you can only play it on like single man games, and it seems cool when you get it, but I mean, to get it, and there has to be a part of a group up effort to kill him, basically, because he has 1,000 life.
Well, from what we were watching a video on it earlier, it seems the key is you've got to kill him from range. You don't let him get close.
Well,
if
yeah,
he
there
gets
is
close, you're
that,
ruined.
but you've got to have. You can't. One person solely cannot kill him alone, because he will make the ground up on you, and then just kill you. You will not do it alone. And then there's the issue of, does a group of people team up against him, or does the one person just start killing everyone around you as well? Because that's kind of what I was more worried about. I was worried about everyone else trying to stay out of his way and just pick me off it while I'm hiding in a corner. It's a difficult game to weigh up, really. It's only a limited time, isn't it? I think it's only for a few weeks, I imagine. It's a cool idea. It's a cool thing. I was just expecting there to be just some skins. When it said that there's a Avengers Infinity War crossover, I didn't think it'd be a full game mode and like you become Thanos. So yeah, it surprised me, and it is cool. It is cool for what it is, but I've been on the main game really. I've been playing duos and I've been playing squads. It's been mainly thanks to some chap who has turned up on our Discord server called Rocco, who's Norwegian, and
it's just me doing a Norwegian accent.
No, it wasn't.
I'm now ready to reveal it to you.
Yeah, he's far too like you wouldn't stand for the stuff that I get away with this fella, because I'm just awful at the game. I'm still not great at it, but I'm getting better. So
I'll give you some
give you some tips. So this guy
explain how you've been getting on, and I'll let you know how you can improve.
So he turned up on over the weekend with one of our American friends, and he said, "Oh, I've just been playing squads on my own, like solo squads. So it's like a one-man squad of 4."
Here's your tip number 1, Pab. Try and get 4 people in a squad.
Oh no! I wasn't doing that. He was doing that. He was playing like that for fun, right? And he won a game like that. I just had 2 shotguns. I was fine. Like what? He was playing single solo squads on his own and won a game. I was like, okay, this guy's gonna get some victories then. And we bashed our head against the wall for a good few rounds. And then it just suddenly happened where we were like in a game where 3 of us were still alive in this team, and there was only like another team left, and we're like, wow, okay then, and we were just sitting pretty in the circle, let them come to us, and we just
see. I thought when you were tweeting all these victory royales out that you were doing it in solo. Now I realise you had a bigger boy holding your hand. I'm distinctly less impressed.
I couldn't do it solo. I mean, I had, like I said, last week I did get 2nd place and very nearly won it. Having a standoff with a shotgun battle on the ground is great for me, because, like I say, it gives me a fighting chance of where someone just jumping over the top of me and shooting me from behind. But he's making me, like I say, I actually won one of the games. I physically won, killing the last guy, won one of the games. So it's a great feeling to do that. And like I say, I'm getting better at building. He's teaching me to build, and he's telling me all these different things to what you need to do, and do this and do that. And don't get me wrong, I don't remember much of it now. So when you come and ask me next time we play, you start asking me little tips. I go, I don't know, I ain't got a clue. But yeah, I've just been kind of addicted to that at the minute. Battle Pass is back on now, so we're back on to week 2 of the Battle Pass. So I think I'm level 50 now already. I'm nearly halfway through the Battle Pass already in week 2, which is crazy. So I'm loving that at the minute. The other thing that came out this week, Destiny 2, the 2nd expansion came out, Warmind. And damn, do I love that game. The story in it and stuff doesn't seem like it's up to much, and it seems kind of just run around an area and just shoot things until you get to like a bit of a boss, like horde bit area, and you just kill them, and then it goes off again and you do another bit. But it feels really good to play. The shooting mechanics, I say this every time and I'll say it constantly, it is hands down probably the best shooting mechanics out there. Bungie, they do good shooting games. It's just where it does fall short for me is a story. There's not much of a story going on. And realistically, I was playing it with my friends, so I wasn't really paying attention to what story. That's how gripping it was. It wasn't really up to much. I was just ignoring it, trying to skip stories, the cutscenes and whatever, because I wasn't bothered. I just wanted to get through it and shoot some more enemies. So I'll probably finish that for next week. That'll probably be done for next week, because if it's based on anything like the last expansion pack, which was a few months ago now, I think the story was no one between 3 and 6 hours. I think for the expansion for the first, which was a real poor. So if it's anything like that, it'll be done pretty quick. So I'll continue to play that one. Tell you what, I did forget to mention last week. Anna, you brought it up towards the end of the show last week. The Detroit demo. Have you played it yet?
No.
I don't play demos. I'm saving myself.
Yeah, this game seems pretty good. This this to me felt a little bit like a Telltale game with an engine that worked.
How dare you?
The
engine's beautiful on Telltale games.
It's not. It is the same engine that they put out for The Walking Dead Season 1. And
which was a beautiful, wonderful game that worked perfectly.
It was on the 360. It was on the 360 when it chugs around now and it's just jerky and like frame rate just freezing at like 10 frames a second. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's so bad. That's why I've stopped playing them now because I'm just not going to bother.
That's why I couldn't play Borderlands 1 because it was just awful.
Yeah. And it's a shame.
I really enjoyed like the first two of them, but it just it's awful.
Yeah. So this Detroit demo is pretty damn cool. There's like it is very much to me. It felt like a Telltale game where you walk around this apartment room. It took me 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I think that's all it was. And you can go back and do it in multiple different ways and what have you. So you go around the apartment. There's like it was the one that they showed from last E3. I think where one of the robots has taken one of the child's hostage on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was last year's demo E3. It was that one. And so you go around this apartment first, so you can see them on the balcony. They're out there. So you're sent in there as like a negotiator, and you go around there and just start looking at things, and then you sort of processing these like your ideas of what's gone down. It goes into like like Batman Vision in Arkham games where you can like rewind the footage and see what's actually happened. You can kind of do that in places. So you can go over there's a gun here. Okay, let's see the trajectory of the bullet, and then you can rewind it and see where the bullet went and where the gun went and what have you, and stuff like that. And you can do that detective mode vision type thing in it. And you pick up items and you read into them, you scan them, you look at computers and stuff, and you kind of work out the psyche of the people that this is happening to and what the whole situation is. And then you go into, and it gives you like a percentage at the top of the screen, like it's like how much of a percentage is likely that it's going to be a good outcome sort of thing. So the more investigating you do, the more knowledge you get, which gives you more options when you go and speak to him. You go and speak to this robot on the balcony outside, and then from that you can then every time you use one of these like options, it like goes up or down depending on what you've gone for. Like lie to him, tell him this, be aggressive with him or what have you. And the likelihood of the outcome coming out good like differs on what options you've picked. End of it, like I did get the girl back, saved the girl, dealt with the robot fella, and then at the end of it, it shows you like a branching path type thing, like a branching tree, and it goes, this is where you went. It goes zigzag all the way through it all. And then you can go, okay, you could have gone that way, you could have gone that way. And it shows you like there's offshoots all going all over the place of where he could have gone with it, which is crazy. It's insane how you could, in theory, we all three could have different outcomes to that how we played it, which is really kind of cool. It's what the Telltale games strive to be in places and were a little bit, but they were never like this. They were never this detailed and this.
When is it out?
Branching. End of the month, 25th.
So Comic-Con Day.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it seems pretty damn good. I mean, like I said, I don't know how much of it will be, how good it will be in the long run, but just based on what I played, I quite enjoyed it. So yeah, that seems like a good one. In a couple of weeks, should be fun. What else have I played? Finally, I've caved and bought Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Switch.
You silly goose.
Why? I kind of like them.
It's been up before.
It came, yeah, but so was everything on the Switch.
That's true.
That's Kev.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should buy it. I haven't bought this. I still haven't bought Zelda or Skyrim.
Yeah, well, I kind of.
It's a Stardew Valley machine, and we all know it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted it because I had it on the Wii U, but I bet I didn't play more than the first island on it. And
that enticed you to now have spent in total over £100.
That's just because I didn't
play this game very much before. Perhaps I'll double my income, my investment on it. I've
probably spent no more than 70 on them, a pair of them. So yeah, I've got this now, and I'm quite enjoying it. There's different modes in it now. There's no Funky Kong. That sold it for me. Funky mode.
Oh yeah, now I'm
in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's got funky mode.
Yeah, you don't even know what that is, do you? Tell me what funky mode is.
No, it's just.
Go on, have a guess. Have a guess what funky mode is, just based on that.
I would just, if I was making funky mode, I would be doing the whole game to music, and you'd just dance around rather than walking around. That would be my version of funky mode.
So, in this mode, you play as Funky Kong.
That doesn't
the
sound
old classic.
real.
Yeah, that is real. That is canon. Funky Kong, and he is a surfer dude with he has a backwards cap on, sunglasses on, and like a white vest on. And he rides a surfboard.
Funky Kong sounds like a jerk.
Yeah. Funky Kong has 5 hearts, whereas the regular game, you only get 3 hearts. So this is kind of easy mode. Funky Kong, when you land on the spikes, he just bounces off them with his surfboard. So you can never fall in the spikes. This is
designed for 4-year-olds who want to play this game.
Probably, because Donkey Kong is really hard and really frustrating. It's not easy in funky mode either. But I was like, that is the pusher I needed, because I think I got really annoyed with it in the first place, is that the fact that I just couldn't do it. It's really difficult platformer. So you play as, I think you play as Funky Kong, and I think I've just got to World 5 now. So I mean, it shows how far I've come in since I got it on Monday maybe. And I've got to World 5 already. I mean, I am playing it, like I say, in kind of easy mode, but it's really cool. It's a really cool game. The bosses I'm not a massive fan of, simply because when you get to a boss in these games, like say a Mario game, you would go on it, you would hit them 3 times, and that would be game over, wouldn't it? Realistically, that's what they do. This one, no. In some of them, you've got to hit them 3 times, and then they move on to like a different phase. And there's like generally 3 phases in them. Sorry?
That seems unreasonable.
It is unreasonable, because if you die, you've got to start them all again. It's like a Dark Souls boss. It's really hard. It's really difficult in places.
I'm glad I've not wasted my money on this game.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think it would be for you, but it's a cool platform. It looks really nice. It's got an amazing soundtrack to it. And I'm just enjoying the game that I never actually played. It feels like it is like a new game, because I've never got past the first world. So it's a nice game just to pick up, do a level, put it down. And that's what I like about it. It's on the Switch. That's what I like the Switch for. I just pick up and put down games. So yeah, and I think that is it for games. That is all I've played. That is a lot, to be fair. And I'd say the majority of that time has been on Fortnite. I think I probably put between 6 and 8 hours in Fortnite this week. Which is a lot for me.
I expect to see a distinct improvement the next time we play. Luckily, Sheepdog has mailed in his games for this week, so we don't miss out on what Sheepdog's played. He did some Pokemon Go, something about raids and being in public, and then he did some Simpsons Tapped Out, and then he played Mass Effect. Anna, what have you been playing this week?
Well, the other day when I was stressing, I played some XCOM 2.
Well, that's quite stressful in itself.
Yeah, what a bad decision that is. I'm really stressed. I'm going to play a horribly hard game.
It's not hard, but it's been on this computer for years, and I can't find my console one. So I played it because you have it. So I put it on, opened the save, and the count. So on this one, you have like this project I can't remember what it's called, but it's a project of the aliens going on, and there's like a limited squares that fill up, and when that fills up, you get like a month timer going down. So that started right. And I was like, every time I got to that point in my previous games, I just turned it off. I was like, no, I don't like timers. Go away. But this one, I continued with it. So I was going around, like, doing what you're doing. And this UFO is hunting me. And it found me. And I've never got to this point. So basically, spoilers, everybody just so you know, if the UFO catches you and engages with you, it can shoot you down. And when it shoots you down, you're basically immobile. Like your whole thing, just like it's just like, oh my god, what's happening? And basically, what happens is there's this whole cutscene, and you have to go and take out this piece of like technology because it's on your ship, and you have to destroy it before you can get back up, which is fine, right? I'm fine with doing that. I've been collecting and blowing up things here, right, and everywhere. But this time, everybody that's in your squad, whether they're like really wounded, like really badly, will go out on the battlefield, and you don't have any say in who and when they come out. So I've got people, everyone comes out, I've got people on like 2 health, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. And then you see the battlefield, and I swear to God, it was like 3-1, and to them, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake. And basically, what you have to do is you can't. So, I didn't know at the start that the platform you start on is your like hatch into your spaceship. So, right. And I didn't know this. So I've got everyone going this way and every way to get to this thing to destroy. And I keep getting these things like, oh, one of them's on the ship. I'm like, well, how? Like, he only went over there. Like, I nearly had him, but he went behind it, and I didn't realise that was my ship. So about 4 of them got past me, and they took over the ship, and my game ended. And I went, oh, okay. So I just turned it off. I was like, it just said game over. I was like, fine. I could go back and reload and obviously play it again to see if the UFO does catch me. So I might go back and go on the thing and see if that happens. So yeah, that happened. But what I did find out is that if your countdown does start, and that you they have like certain areas that have like a red base. If you go and take over them bases, the countdown stops, and so it resets itself. Which I didn't know, but that's good. So I can't remember what it's called. It's like the something project. So the countdown starts. Just go and take out one of the red bases, and you'll be fine. It will reset. So that was cool. But I do like XCOM, and I don't know why. It's not something I've ever played before, but I do like these games. It's like when you get to, like when you're on the battlefield, and it says like 98% hit, and then you miss. I'm like, what? Why? He's 98%. Like, oh my god, so annoying. So I played that, and then today on my rest day, because I was just getting really stressed out with everything, I just couldn't bother. I played Far Cry for about 6 hours today. That's all I've done. So I cleared that first area out where you start. I've now killed Faith. Well, actually, I don't know whether I killed her or if she just went. I'm not quite sure what happened in that bit. I'm really not sure. But like, I like the boss battles, but you have to do them by yourself. Like, you know how normally you can have like your companions. You can't have them in this. It's all done by you, and oh my god, today's was annoying. Like, it took me a good hour to get through it because you have to work out the pattern of what's going on.
Right.
It's just like, oh, for goodness sake. And just the whole, because basically you build up your like meter, don't you?
Yes.
To go through the region.
Yeah.
And
that's
like,
right.
so you've got the planes coming after you at some point, and that bit that annoys me more than anything. So like, I'm running around the map, and you can hear the plane, it spots you, and then all hell breaks loose. So then, like, it's not the way it was one. What was the first guy's name? Jake?
John?
Maybe? John?
No, not over John.
The first guy. Yeah. Every time you got to a certain thing in the progress bar, he would come and get you. Well, his people would come and get you.
That's right. Yeah.
This one doesn't work that way. So they are different. The way that every checkpoint happens, and it's very strange, and it's like, okay, but the whole thing of that playing out was very good. I enjoyed it very well. Like you like I don't know whether to like them, because I like some of their values, but then again they're taking over people and beating them, so like they just want to be happy, but go and do it somewhere else and not be so murdery. Just go over there and be quiet and do what you do. Just don't kill anybody. So I've done that area, so now I'm just going around doing whatever I've missed, which is fine. I now have a cougar and a dog, and that's all fun.
Okay. Have you got the bear yet?
No, because he's in the mountainous area.
Is he? That's a shame. So I want the bear.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, like, you don't have to play this game where you. So basically, I think you start in that one zone.
Yes.
And then when you go to the second zone, I think you can just pick.
You can do whatever you want. You could have gone to the first one straight away. It's just a damn sight harder. Because that's what they said. They said the south one is the easiest one, then the girls one to the east is the next easiest, and then the top one is the hardest one to do. So you could have done that straight away, and you could go and get cheeseburger now, but it'll be well. It might not be difficult at all. It'll be a walk in the park. Realistically, it probably is a walk in the park. There's probably just more enemies, or there's something else. There's a different gimmick with that area than the other two that we don't know what it is yet because I've not done it.
No,
it
is good. So I'm gonna go there next. I don't know when because I've got so much to do. But next week probably. I'll probably play it on Friday, but I like it. I'm still playing it. I'm still going to it.
I like it, but I've not played any console games realistically other than Switch stuff, just because I've not wanted to put my consoles on last weekend. It was that hot. I was like, I'm not putting anything on in this room if I can help it. I turned God of War, and I was last week I had all intentions of playing more God of War. Got around to the weekend, I was like, this will just heat this room up so fast, and it sounds like a jet engine setting off when you turn it on. It's so loud and so warm. The heat coming off it is frightening. Yeah, I keep thinking this thing's going to kick out in a minute. It's going to just kick the bucket because it's kind of concerning, but it's been fine. But yeah, I've not played any console games. Like I say, I do want to get back to Far Cry 5, but it's just this past week has been scotcho.
Yeah, like I have wanted to go back to God of War, but I think I'm there in the end, and I don't want it.
You really? Wow. That's good. There's so much stuff in it.
It's like I've tried to stay away from all media, and because like when Far Cry was coming out, all you ever saw was the cheeseburger bear, and I go and play it, and now I'm thinking, I can't get him till the end. Like you said, you can go anywhere, but I don't know. But I think I'm near the end, but I'm not entirely sure because I'm now back at an area that I've been to previously, and I'm thinking, I'm only here for one reason. So
I think to be fair, I think you'll be traveling back to many places in that time. With the amount of stuff I've seen so far in the few areas I've been to, I've gone, I can't get in there. I need to come back here another time to use some other weapon or something to destroy them bushes or whatever it is. So I mean, I imagine you probably will be coming back to certain areas at certain points.
Yeah, but this is a certain area.
Yeah. But like I say, even if you do finish it, the amount of people I've seen that go back to it and said, I've gone back to it to clean up these items because this feels like the one of the most platinum games possibly, because the amount of people I've seen doing it, just wanting to go back into that world, is like staggering.
Lovely.
Yeah.
My gosh, it's so nice. But I have heard that this is the first of a trilogy, so I'm all for a trilogy.
Oh, probably.
I'm all over it. But that is my gaming. I've just been studying so hard and so much, but I'm finally a bit less stressed because my last assignment for the year went in yesterday. So now I just gotta. It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have science. If it was just this 2-hour one, I'd be fine. But it's the fact that on Tuesday I have a science, and then on Thursday I have this 2-hour one. It's like 12 weeks of work. And I'm just like, oh, I don't remember it all. I'm like, my friends have gone on holiday, and people are just like sunning it up, and I'm like writing and I don't know why. Like, I don't know, but I did this kind of revision last time and got a 74%. So I'm hoping that can pass over a little bit into this, hopefully. But
and then we have to call you Dr. Anna.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
No.
Can we call you Dr. Anna regardless?
You can, but
it won't necessarily be factually correct.
No, like I was talking to you, I don't have. They never said I had to pass science. They just said I had to do it.
You're gonna get on a loophole with this.
But they did. They never said I had to pass it. He said I had to do it, so I'm doing it. He never said I had to pass it.
Yeah, usually that tends to mean they want you to pass it, don't
No,
they?
I think this was just a test to see if she was serious.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so just, right, okay. So your commitment to a year of it is enough for them to say you're serious. And
yeah.
I think just paying the fee to sign up for that course probably convinced them, and now they're not worried at all.
They just wanted a bit more money.
I strongly suggest they'll never even check what she gets in it. They just won't care.
Because I asked, like, I had a one-to-one. I was like, do I have to do science? He went, yes, because they look at it when you go into a scientific, into science forensic work. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to do the science side. I want to do the on the road, like in the outside. I want to do be a scenes crime officer. I don't need to know about physics and Newton's law. I just don't need to know it.
Exactly.
You've told us this.
And as I've said to you, coming from an educationalist's point of view, if you failed the GCSE but passed the first year of your degree, they're not going to say, oh, well, despite the fact you passed the first year of this degree, we can't let you go any further. You've got to pass that GCSE first. That's not how it works. If you pass the course you're on, you stay on the course you're on.
Yeah, but they've already said I've got the 3 years, so they can't exactly kick me off, can they?
Exactly.
For a GCSE.
They'll just make you do science again next year.
I'm not doing it again.
It's just like you'll take the exam again. Just keep taking the exam till you get it right.
But the thing is, I could do that because now I know every. Like, it baffles me because of what I could have just done. It's got these revision books. Because basically, it's all they do is go to them revision books, take out all the thing, put it on a PowerPoint, and tell you it. What I could have done.
Don't tell people what teaching is.
But what I could have done.
That's literally what I used to do.
What I could have done for the third time is got these books, and instead of paying the £400 that they wants to be paid, I could have paid the £30 just for the exam. It makes no sense. So silly, but
teachers got to earn their money.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, but they give you English and maths for free.
It's because you need them.
What? So you?
Don't you need science anyway? Don't you need science? Yeah, but
it's a compulsory subject to do at school, but no one cares if you pass. And to be honest, the only GCSEs anyone ever checks, if you look on job applications, they look for 5 GCSEs, including A to C, including maths and English. That's the terminology they use. So the other 3 could be dance, music, and cookery. It really doesn't matter. But I apologise if you're a dancing musical cookery expert and you think I've just dissed you. But let's face it ain't science, is it?
No, it ain't science.
No, science is fine. It's just physics. I don't like the formulas because they mess with my head. It just baffles me how they've got so. Like the other day we had meters and something else. I can't remember. But they were both M's. And I'm like, well, what M do you want me to put in the formula?
Would be the other one. Speaking as the man with physics A level, both mass and meters are abbreviated to an M.
You see what I mean? And they're like, well, yeah, but it depends what you're doing. I'm like, because of the way my brain works, like M means one thing. It can't mean two different things, and it just irritates.
But you know, if you're dealing with something that's about mass or something that's about distance measured in meters, you can work out which one's relevant based on what you're trying to calculate.
That's fine, but basically what I'm learning is 3 years of work in less than a year, and it's hard. And I'm doing a degree, and I have Andy, and I'm doing this.
And you have to keep me amused.
And keep you amused, exactly.
That's Pab questioned earlier why I'm spending so much time in London at the moment. Is it all becoming clear to you now? Part of keeping me amused is she sends me far away on a regular basis.
I can see send why. You far away. I send you to the garage. Like, I'd rather you in the garage than spending money everywhere else. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. Like, how many times have you been this week? Twice?
Once so far.
Twice? Where else did you go this week?
Nowhere. I've just been to London.
You went
yesterday.
Somewhere else?
No.
I see what I mean. Weeks just gelling together.
I've got my diary. I went somewhere last weekend, but not this week.
There you go.
Anyway, movies and TV. Have we seen any new ones?
Movies?
Not watched any
no.
movies.
When's Deadpool 2 out?
15th next week.
Oh, 15th.
Are we doing Leicester Square for that, or are we going to sneak and see it before then?
I'm not bothering going seeing it. So if we want to go in London and see it,
you don't care about seeing it.
I'm not. Like I say, I'm not in any rush to go see it like I was in Infinity War.
Let's make a play date then for the at least the three of us. Maybe old Misery Guts might join us while we're down there, and we'll go to a Leicester Square cinema. And it'll be delightful, and we can spend £30 on a cinema ticket or whatever London cinema prices are.
Tell you what, I won't be going in if it's £30.
We'll turn up and see how much a Leicester Square one is, and then we'll end up driving out to Enfield to see it there. Yeah, I mean, there are multiple cinemas around there. Bouncy took me and Pab on the proper tour of all the local cinemas.
There was a lot.
So we know where all the cinemas are in that area. So Deadpool 2's on the horizon. What about TV?
TV. It's not going to be anything to you. I'm back in on Westworld. So season 2.
I tried twice for that. It's rare I try twice for the program. I tried twice and it just didn't.
I watched season 1 on the run up to this, and I was still confused as to what was going on. It's really good, but it takes concentration and thought into what's happening. I don't know whether to spoil this. Okay, I'm going to say something. If you don't want to hear it, fast forward 10 seconds.
Oh, these people.
Yeah, people listening, fast forward it 10 seconds.
I have prices.
Go on.
£20.50.
That's just for that one.
I'm sorry? Joking.
That's for the Odeon in Leicester Square.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need to be right on Leicester Square.
No, we can go to some back alley one.
Yeah, we'll keep going further away until we find one that's less than a tenner.
Didn't we find a cinema that wasn't far from Forbidden Planet that you got the bubble tea from?
Yes, we did.
Year. That was a cinema.
That was a cinema. There's loads of... I think there's more than one cinema in London. I'll verify now. While Pab talks about Westworld and spoils it for everybody. People who fast-forwarded to miss the spoiler are now back.
Fast-forward again. We had a price newsflash. So, all I'm going to say is, in this program, it runs on 2 timelines. So that's why it's confusing. So, you have to get your head around which part is in which sort of timeline. And that's all I'll say about it, realistically. Is because it happened in season 1, and there is, for me, a much smaller gap, that jump in time in season 2, but there is still one there. So it's entertaining. It's a really good program. But you've kind of got to be switched on and watching it. You can't just let it happen and let it wash over you. You've got to be engaged with it and think about what is happening and where this stands in the whole grand scheme of things. But I'm interested to see where it goes. I really am. I'm curious now to see where they go with it. Episode 3 introduced like they had the like explorer world where it was like set in India, and there was like these big old Bengal tigers, and there was elephants and stuff like that. And towards the end of the episode, there is some sort of like samurai world. It seems like that, so that's coming into it as well now. So there's not just one park; there are multiple parks that are in this sort of like area of wherever it is. It's really good. It's really, really good. I think you've got to be.
It's this Westworld. Are they like miniatured down or?
No. Miniature down. No, not like shrunk or anything.
Because they can see the world in that office area.
It's all about it's a futuristic world where they've got like it's like augmented reality world where it's just like a augmented world map. So that's all it is, and they have like the cameras that can see everything and just projects it onto this map sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. What else have I watched? Something we have both watched, Kev. Backlash.
Please don't make me talk about this again.
You didn't watch that live, did you?
No.
I it was a bank holiday. I went, I can watch this live, and I was watching the Greatest Royal Rumble for 5 hours, and I was dying for a fast forward button.
Yeah, this was without getting too bogged down into it again, because I genuinely got really quite angry about this pay-per-view. It is the worst pay-per-view in many a long year. It was just absolute trash.
It was, yeah. It was just nothing. No titles changed hands from what I can remember, did they?
I don't even care. Just don't
Nothing
care.
happened.
Just made me angry.
And I didn't mind the AJ Styles Nakamura match.
What, did you miss the end?
Well, no, hang on.
That was a good match until they ended it in such a ridiculous way.
And that chair getting booted in his face. Oh.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you were watching a wrestling match and it ended because the two wrestlers simultaneously kicked each other in the nuts and then just rolled around on the floor and couldn't get back up? Would you feel a little bit cheated?
Yeah, that was poor.
I just tell them to get up. What they do?
No, they didn't get up. The match ended because they kicked each other in the nuts at the same time.
They didn't kick each other, did they?
Oh, we did. You watched it in slow mo. I think that must have hurt a little bit. You watch it in slow mo, you cannot fake that much.
They both gave it some welly. Yeah,
because it was just like standing start. You have to get some momentum on it, and you probably put some force behind it. And I think they did. They didn't. They took one for the team.
Me and Pab will demonstrate it for you when we're down in.
Yeah, when we get to Comic Con, we'll do it in the outside area. Just roll around on the grass for 20 minutes.
We have to beat the 10 count to be allowed to go to Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole thing was, like you say, there's no title changes. And this is the going forward. It's how it's always going to be. With these,
the scary thing is because of the nature of the business is changing very quickly, and because it's no longer about selling tickets, it's no longer about selling pay-per-views. Their income is secure. They have a massive TV deal and they have monthly subscribers for the WWE Network.
Yeah,
their income is they're in a financially better position than the company has ever been in. They're making more money than ever. They've just announced a massive profit for the first time in history. It doesn't matter if the wrestling's any good or not, because they're still going to make an absolute ton of money.
Yeah.
So they just kind of don't. They seem to not care. They'll just do what they feel like.
Yeah,
and, I mean, it shows.
It's kind of been on a downward spiral for a while for me. It's story-wise and so on. It's not really been amazing, has it? Which
is frustrating, because if you look at the actual roster of talent, it's the best one they've ever had.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. A lot of people saying, pound for pound, this is the best talent they've had ever, pretty much.
I mean, they've not got a Stone Cold or a Hulk Hogan, but when they had Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan, they perhaps had 3 other guys.
Yeah, they
tops
carried
who
them.
were really good.
Yeah, they
Whereas
carried
now
everyone
they've
else.
got that roster all the way down is top quality, and they're just not using it. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
But stupid wrestling. TV.
Yes.
We've watched the first 3 episodes now, I think, of the new Netflix program with Dexter doing an English accent called Safe. And it's really, really cool. It's basically the man who plays Dexter, who apparently is a real-life American, but doing an English accent.
Hold on. So this the Dexter fella.
The man who plays
with
Dexter,
an English accent.
He's English in England.
Okay.
All the rest of the cast are all English. Just playing an Englishman.
So could this be could this be where my cameo comes in? Where I told you I walked through one of the shots a few months ago.
It could be because it was filmed in Manchester.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna have to watch this now.
So you were in this, were you?
Potentially, I don't know. They might have cut him out, but I've literally, if I remember saying last time, I walked around where they were filming, and then realised the camera was pointing at me, and the guy came charging out of a bar and ran at me, just running at me. So I was like,
I think that was this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's been an incident where a man's run out of a bar running.
Yeah, well, like I say, it could have just they probably did about 40 takes of it, but I was on one of them at least.
We need to now rewatch and try and find out.
You look for someone in a high vis yellow jacket because that's what I was wearing, I think, if I remember rightly.
Excellent.
So,
but this program's very good. We've watched the first 3 of them. It's basically it's set in a gated community in a non-specific town. I looked it up to find out it was filmed in Manchester because I wanted to know where the non-specific town was because the accents are all very generic English accents, but with no actual regional differences to them. It's just we're in England. Look at us. And, it was Manchester. No, there's not a Manchester accent to be found anywhere else.
Really?
But they're in a gated community, and it's just this constantly twisting tale of intertwined, weird lives where a girl has gone missing. We don't know where she's gone. Her dad is Dexter, but he's English.
Right.
And he's got a thing for the police officer who's investigating the disappearance of his daughter. They've got a little bit of a business tension between them, as in sexy time tension. And she's also investigating a separate crime of a teacher who is having it away with one of her pupils.
Apparently.
And her son is the boyfriend of the girl who's gone missing, and he died at a party. And another family also live on this estate. The party was at their house, and they decided to cover up the murder. And of course, the police are constantly around their house as well, this same policewoman. And then there's a separate policewoman who happens to be investigating both these and something else involving this weird man that she keeps taking pictures of. And the weird man just happens to work with Dexter. And it's all completely intertwined. It's constantly throwing twists. And it's just, I find it quite gripping. It's like a soap opera for boys. It's brilliant.
For boys.
Yeah, because it's not about who's pregnant now. It's who killed who. But it's basically a ridiculous soap opera. The premise is absolute nonsense. It just is ridiculous. But it kind of just embraces how ridiculous it is, goes with it, and spins a good yarn off the back of it. I think it's 8 episodes long. I might be wrong, but we've watched 3 of them, and I want to watch more because it's just really, really cool. Go watch it now.
I think I might.
He did watch a couple of episodes of Desperate Housewives as well, didn't Kevin?
No, that was on while I was there. In true Sheepdog style, that was just on while I was looking at the telly. I didn't watch it.
You were sat there, one finished, and you went, and another one. So
what season is this?
1.
See, there's no wrong with. I'll say this controversially, maybe. No wrong with Desperate Housewives in the early years.
Right at the start.
I have seen them all before.
Yeah. You know
You
the
have?
techniques.
When?
Yeah. When they were on.
What, you
Yeah.
watched this?
Yeah,
Wow.
Had Lois Lane in it.
exactly. How do you think I know what's going on it when you were like 3 episodes in and I just sat down, didn't ask you any questions, just carried on about my business? I've seen it all before. Have you not seen it before?
No.
Oh,
I could drop some proper spoilers for you.
The first you get to about season 3 and then it starts going a bit wacky.
Yeah, it's always the way.
Yeah, same with Lost and what have you.
Yeah, but Lost was amazing.
Yeah, but even that went a bit. You got to admit that went a bit weird.
Yeah, but it was
Towards the end.
The way it went weird. It was like, what is happening? Why are they writing this? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this made it to TV, but it was a spectacular.
Yeah. Well, we'll now imagine that, but with Suburban Housewives.
Right.
We need to watch Happy though, Kevin.
Yes.
Well, I did ask earlier if we could watch it.
Yeah, but I said I was watching Safe. I watched 2 minutes upstairs. I thought, right, I'll come and watch it on the big telly by myself because you were faffing, and then you started watching it, so I have to watch that with you. I'm happy with you. Desperate Housewives with you. Just annoying. And he goes out all the time.
Because you send me out. Exactly. I'm working my way out from the centre of London, trying to work out cinemas. I got as far as the Westfield Shopping Centre, and it just told me £36, but that was for 2 people. But that's still £18 a ticket. I don't know that we're seeing us. If you live in London, can you let us know via the means of Twitter if there's somewhere to watch we don't want to go somewhere where we're going to get infected by being there. It wants to be a decent quality cinema.
Milton Keynes.
Yeah, we'll come out to Milton Keynes. We'll just come back to Peterborough.
Yeah, just come back.
Because the showcase in Peterborough, it's Showcase Deluxe. Every seat's a recliner with a big cup holder, and it's like £12 a ticket. So that works for me. Or we could go to Bouncy Cinema. I've got some managers' passes to Bouncy Cinema in my pocket. Shall we head out to Wisbeach for the day and go and hang out with Bouncy on the Saturday of Comic-Con? That would confuse everybody. Where are you? We've just got to Bodines for the meal. We're in Wisbeach. We'll meet you halfway.
Yeah, but if you have a break away from inner city, you'll see like fields.
Pab doesn't.
I see plenty of fields on the train. Don't worry about that. I see plenty of fields on the way down.
Yeah, but you don't see these fields, Pab. It's deep in the fens.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen really flat land, Pab?
Yeah.
You haven't seen this flat.
Okay.
It's true.
We're so used to how flat the land is around here that sometimes we get out of breath going up a curb.
It's so flat here. It's insane.
I get headaches if I have my chair on too high a setting because I'm not used to being that far above sea level. In fact, I'm probably still below sea level.
Yeah, I do recall now when it snowed and you called that little mound a hill that the kids were sliding down.
That's the highest point for about 30 miles.
It really is. I honestly, it is. I couldn't believe it.
And that's artificial. That's just the foundations that were dug out for the houses that were built around.
Yeah. Well, you have to show me around sometime. I look forward to seeing all this flat land.
You don't need to. We'll just put you on top of the hill and spin you. To be honest, that's exactly, there are points where you can pretty much see all of it. The top of the stump in Boston, you go up there, you can see Lincoln, you can see Grimsby, you can see Skegness. I am not even joking. As you walk around at the top of the stump, it's labelled to say, right, if you look out here, you'll see Skegness. Look at this bit, it's Grimsby. It's absolutely mad.
Skegness.
Yeah. Right, Anna, it's Comics O'Clock. Are you sticking around?
Oh, listen.
Hooray! Pab, what did you get me from Free Comic Book Day? Because I couldn't go because I was too busy.
You weren't busy.
I was working.
You were, but you were doing something you wanted to do, or you wouldn't have been there.
My job.
I thought you said you were going to try and.
He last weekend he was like, right, I'm going to leave an hour earlier so I can go and get my free comics. He was still running around here until he's like my hour's gone. I'm going to have to go. I'm like, what are you doing? Just Yeah, he had the evening to get ready. I don't understand. Kevin, stop making noises.
That's Pab.
That's me. I'm just getting out my selection.
His selection box.
Yes. So, I've probably got around 25 to 30 comics, I reckon.
You've not got any for yourself then? These are just for me, presumably.
I've got a DC Nation if you want DC Nation, if you've not already read it.
I haven't already read it. I have it downloaded, but I haven't read it.
I'll bring you a physical copy from Comic Con because they were giving it away free, and I paid £1.25 for a copy from Forbidden Planet because I'm a mug.
Aren't you just? You silly
Yeah, well, it's because they said it's not going to be printed out anywhere again. It's a one-off sort of thing. It's not happening again. They didn't say it's going to be free for Free Comic Book Day. It just happened to be there at Free Comic Book Day, and they were giving it away. So let's start with that. So DC Nation is it's number 0, which is there's like 3 short stories in it based like setting up the next set of arcs for Batman, Justice League, and Superman, I presume. And it seems pretty good. It's Tom King doing the Batman one. The Batman one's dark. It's a bit grey, a bit grim. But it's cool. It's cool. Interesting to see where it's going to go, where they're going to take it. The Superman one, actually, it's difficult to say because I'm not following anything of this. I just picked it up in the middle of this arc or this story sort of thing that's going on, just to see what the world's like and what have you. And the Superman story mainly was about Clark Kent and the fact that Lois doesn't work for the Daily Planet anymore. And the Justice League one, which to me was possibly the most interesting one, was where each member of the Justice League has their own like squad now. I don't know if you know about this, Kev.
Nah.
There is like, so Batman has a squad, and Batman's squad consists of Lobo, Deathstroke, Beast Boy, and Lex Luthor.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So the whole premise is that there is this big bad thing that's coming, and if they don't group up and deal with it, it's game over sort of thing. And even just the superheroes grouping up isn't enough. They need more. They need something else. Superman's team consists of Starfire, Martian Manhunter, Starro, and Sinestro. Okay. Wonder Woman's Raven, Etrigan, Zatanna, and Dr. Fate. So these are just
the real A-list heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Helping them all out, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Well, then there's the Cyborg team of Atom, Robin, Flash, and Harley Quinn. So there's like, and then Green Arrow's on Earth, trying to keep everything going while they're all fighting on a other world somewhere. So it's cool. I like the fact that they're doing something different with it. They're doing different stuff. It's curious to see where they're going to go. I'll probably never read about them because it's all part of a massive story out with ongoing stories that never really end. It's interesting. I'm sure Sheepdog will read them, and I'll hear from Sheepdog in a few weeks about them all. What else have I read? I've got a book called Relay. I read that issue, which is about like a spaceman that lands on the planet Earth, and these like caveman looking people, like in the Dark Ages, and they basically turn him into a god because he teaches them how to do stuff and what have you. It was a bit confusing, to be fair. I wasn't quite 100% sure what was going on, as in like what the grand scheme of was happening with it, because there is something that's going on with this like big like obsidian kind of like giant like mega structure in just in the world. And I'm not 100% certain what it relates to this whole story, but it was fine. I mean, like I say, all these books are just like little tasters, aren't they? Realistically, Kev, for what they are, they're not like big old like things when they tell you an amazing story, and they just kind of like give you a taste of what you can be reading. One I quite liked was called Strangers in Paradise, which I got. which tells a story of like it starts off with this like husband and wife sort of thing, talking on the phone, and then someone steals the husband's phone while they're on it or something like that, and breaks it or whatever she does with it, and it basically sends her to she gets like she just the wife just gets a go bag and just legs it. You then find out that the person who stole it was trying to track her down because she's some sort of Soviet spy or something like that, and they've been trying to track her down for a long time because she's gone underground, and people this like agency are trying to find her. It was interesting. It was a cool book. It's all black and white, which I wasn't expecting because all the front cover and what have you is all nicely coloured and what have you and nicely inked. It's all black and white. It was different. It stood out to me. It was cool. That's what I read. Lady Mechanica. Have you heard of Lady Mechanica, Kev?
No.
It's been out for a while. I think it was out at last year's Free Comic Book Day. I feel like I've got an issue of it, but it seems kind of cool. This one's like kind of got its hooks in me. So it's like a steampunk kind of esque character who's like part woman, part robot. She's been like created with like robotic arms and like got cyber eyes and what have you, but it's all like set in like a steampunk Victorian world. It's interesting. Seems like a cool book where she kind of is like Batman, maybe Catwoman-esque. It seems interesting. There's apparently like quite a few volumes of it out now, so it must be relatively popular because it's there and about. It was good. It was good. It was a good read. I didn't mind it. Like I say, it kind of intrigued me. Out of all of them, realistically, that one I would pick a volume up for. Another one I'd read is is it called Angel's Dog? Street Angel's Dog. Hey, it is Street Angel's Dog, which to me came across a bit like a kid's comic. I just liked the way it was drawn. It's a really cool, like this kid who seems like a bit of a rough and tumble kid that seems like just living on the streets, and she just kind of finds this dog, and then kind of dresses it up and tries to get it to do tricks and what have you. And then she finds out that the dog's been lost, and she hands it back, and that's about it. That's about the gist of the story. But it was just drawn really nicely. I just enjoyed the drawing of it. So that was all right. I thought it was a bit of a kid's book, but it seemed a bit grim at times, so maybe it wasn't. Finally, the last one I've actually read, books that I've actually got, is this Barrier book. You know what Barrier is, don't you, Kev? You told me about it.
I've ordered it from Forbidden Planet, so it will be... I had to. It's the only time it'll ever be available. It's not going to be available as a collected edition. Do what?
Buy it on eBay in a few years.
So I don't even know. I don't even know whether, because it came out this week, didn't it? Now I don't know if it's this book that came out.
Yeah, there's only 5 issues. So the first one is the big 50-page one. Is this the one? Free Comic Book Day,
and that came out officially this week.
Like £2. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because I was wondering how this worked out. So this is interesting. This is a real. This is, you can tell this is a Brian K. Vaughan book by the end of it. So the first thing that interests me is that I don't know if you've seen the cover, Kev. The cover is like landscape. And
because it was originally a webcomic.
Was it? Well, that makes sense. Yeah. It's all landscape. Yeah. You read it landscape, which was really different. I wasn't expecting that at all. And Sheepdog said last week that the picture of it is just a barrier, or he said that somewhere that you think it's going to be something weird or what have you. But on the front, it is just a barrier, and the story is about this girl who's got this ranch, and then there's people like drug smuggling across her land, and then they're kind of threatening her by killing her livestock, and she doesn't know what to do about it because the police can't do anything about it realistically because I don't know, they're not doing anything about it. But it's also simultaneously going on about this other foreign fella who's trying to get into the country as well simultaneously. So I mean, you don't really know what's going on there because it's all in a Spanish, maybe? Portuguese, whatever language it is. I'm not sure. It's a foreign language. So there are many pages in this book that is in a foreign language. You've got to kind of gauge off what you're seeing. So he's trying to get into, to a new civilization sort of thing, to a new world, start again sort of thing. And it comes to the climax of them sort of coming together. And like I say, he ends up on her land sort of thing at a certain point, and then something happens. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but very Brian K. Vaughan-esque, something happens. And like I say, the last page is just like, okay, well, I'll be waiting for the trade for that one then. That is what is happening now.
There won't be a trade. There is no trade.
There will be a trade.
No, he said there's not going to be a trade. It's only ever going to be available in these single issues. They're being released one a week throughout May. That's why I've had to order them as single issues. They're out weekly this month, and it's the only way they'll ever be available.
Thanks for that, Kev, for telling me that. 'Cause I wanted it. So they're really not... How can they not come with a trade? That seems insane.
Well, what they've said is there's no plans to ever release it as a trade. So
why, though? Why?
I don't know.
It's not...
Because it was originally a webcomic. I don't think there's ever an plan to release it physically at all. But I think they've reluctantly allowed Image to make a load of money by selling it. But it's been released. It's these 5 issues are already written. You can already go and read them on.
There's 5 issues.
They're available from Panel Syndicate, which is the website that Brian K. Vaughan and a few others. It's basically it's almost like a humble bundle for comics, but without the charitable side of it. And you can go in there and do a pay what you want, and they all already exist. It's these 5 issues, and I'm looking at it now. They're all on there. You can even download them all for free by the looks of it, but I want the physical ones. And the story was the only way they'll ever be released physically, it will be this one single run of single issues. They'll never be collected as a trade.
Disappointing, because I don't like buying individual issues. Well, but for 5 issues, I suppose I can make the exception.
Exactly. You'll have them all by the end of the month.
Yeah, that makes me think: can I gamble and just go to Forbidden Planet when we're at Comic Con?
Well, I did
pick them all up. But I thought, odds are I will not get them all.
Yeah,
I might get one
I've done is I ordered them all in one go on Forbidden Planet, just pre-ordered them all at the same time, and I think they're collecting them all together and sending them at the end, because I only paid postage once. So I think at the end of May, I'll get my little bundle of all 5 of them arrive.
Interesting.
Which,
I might do the same then. I might do the same, and I probably will do, just because I'm a sucker for it. But that was probably, hands down, probably the best book of the lot. But obviously, it probably was going to be, because there was quite a big fuss about it, wasn't there?
Exactly.
Quite a big hubbub. Have you read anything this week?
I'm still ploughing through Marvel Unlimited. Now I've got my subscription again. So I've almost finished the Jason Aaron run of Thor now. So I've done Unworthy Thor, which is awesome. And now I'm about 5 issues from the end of Thor. I think it's Thor. It might be called The Mighty Thor. Whatever the current main Thor book is. Obviously, we're 6 months behind on Marvel Unlimited, but so that would take me up to like October, November last year, and then I'll be up to speed and just waiting for the new ones to drop each month. It's been brilliant. I must have read 40 or 50 issues of various Thor books over the last couple of weeks, and all written by Jason Aaron, and they're all brilliant. And I'm going to be a little bit sad when it ends, but I've already got Secret Wars lined up to finally read. I've got it as a trade, but I've now got a few of them downloaded on Marvel Unlimited, because I've had the trade sat there for 2 years and not touched it, because it's a big, heavy one, and it's on my shelf looking pretty, so I'll probably just read it on Marvel Unlimited, and I'm a silly bear. But I've been looking forward, because I've been hearing rumours. Hold on. I've been hearing that this might be involved. The idea of this might be one of the ideas that they use in Avengers 4 in the film. They've been talking about Secret Wars as potentially the inspiration for that. So now I'm like double interested in reading Secret Wars now. Anna, moan at me.
So you've got it, but then you're paying a subscription to read it again.
No, I'm paying a subscription to all Marvel comics ever, and I just.
But you've got this one.
Yeah, I've got lots of them.
So why have you got?
It's more convenient to read it on the iPad.
So why buy them?
Because I didn't have the subscription then. I doubt I will buy Marvel books anytime soon, now that I've got this.
What, so when we go to Comic-Con, is that big Marvel
I'll have a little
place?
look, but unless there's an absolute
Kevin,
super duper bargain.
Come away from there with them red bags full of comics and then moan about having to carry them.
I know. That's the reason I bought a wheelie suitcase.
What?
So I didn't have to carry them around all day. But I'll try to avoid Marvel. I've got my shopping list already forming for Comic-Con, and it's mainly Image books. So
what, a comic?
What do you mean?
Well, an Image is
Image are a publisher, Anna. This is why you don't hang around for the comic section, isn't it? But yeah, that's all I've been reading, working my way through Thor, and it's been marvelous. But I think that leads us to the end of this week's podcast. Oh, are you still going?
Yeah.
But you just hand it over to me.
Because I didn't want to just hog everything.
Go on then. I've got a train to catch at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Crimea River. I was up at 6 last week.
I've got to pack my bag yet and finish editing the vlog.
Well, it'll be very quickly because I've not finished reading it yet. Because this book, I've started reading American Gods, which was based on the novel. So it's a novelization of it. Based on, and also after watching the program, what was it last year? Now, American Gods. Yeah. This is a damn good book. It really is, but it's huge. I've read 6 issues, and I think I'm just over halfway through this book. This is volume 1. So I think I'm just going past what happened in the books, just in the TV show. There are slight tweaks on it. So it is. So there, I have a rough gist of what's going on, but there are slight differences. They go different places in it. But it's damn good. It's a really good book, and because it's based on a written book, there's a lot more writing in it. Have you read a book that's gone from this to a novel? You know what I mean? To a graphic novel.
I think so.
There's a lot of writing in this. I don't know if that's just why it's taking me a lot longer, but there's a lot more. There's a narrator in it. There's a narration going on in this, which I don't really see in many comic books.
No, they need to keep these pesky words out of my picture books.
That's exactly why I don't read regular books. So that's how that Wicked and Divine issue didn't get read, because it had too many words in it. But it's damn good. It is a damn good book, and it makes me want to see more of the TV series. I can't remember whether they got a second series, but I want it now because I want to see where this goes, because there's some loopy stuff in this book. It's about all the gods in the world and how the old gods are dying out because there's no one believing in them and no one supporting the gods, sort of thing. And these new gods are rising up, such as the internet god and the credit card gods are turning up because people are worshipping those things instead of the old gods. And it's really cool. I love this book so far. And like I say, it might be a bit wordy for me, but I kind of want to see where it goes. I want to see what happens now. And like I say, because I've watched the TV program, I have a gist of, I know what roughly is happening this week. So I'm just venturing into the unknown now. I mean, like I say, I'm just over halfway. So next week I'm opening by the end of the week, and I'll have this finished. I'll have something different to talk about next week. So that is your lot. I'll let you wrap it up now, Kev.
Thanks, Pab.
Welcome.
Something about following us places. Twitter, MG UK Podcast. Disregard any tweets on there that look like they could be written by one Southern person. As you'll know, we have done a show this week, despite the fact Sheepdog announcing we weren't going to. But you can follow us on Twitter at MG UK Podcast. And you can follow me at Lelujo. You two has to be Sheepdog.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab1986.
We also have Facebook at facebook.com/MatureGamerPodcast. And of course, all my YouTubey goodness is available via lelujo.fm. That links you off to both channels and all the delights that one can get from there. 2 weeks' time, we're at Comic-Con in London. We probably should have mentioned this at the start of the show. We will mention it at the start of next week's show because we have the usual Saturday night meetup at Bodine's. If you're planning on being there, there is a Facebook event set up for that. It's linked to my Facebook page rather than the podcast one. So you'll need to go to facebook.com/Lelujo. And from there, you'll find a link through to the Bodine's meetup for Saturday, the 26th of May, I think it is. We haven't booked a table yet, but I want to book that in the next week or so.
Yes.
And I need to know how many people we're booking it for. So usual rules apply. We're going to have a look to see how many people are booked on there in about 4 or 5 days' time, probably, and then book for that many people. So if you're planning on coming and you haven't yet told us you're coming, make sure you do that ASAP, because in the past we've had it so that we've booked for 12 and there's only been 3 of us turn up, and we've also had it so we've booked for 5 and 20 people have turned up. Yes. And neither of those are ideal scenarios. We don't mind if you're coming or not. It'd be lovely if you come, but if you are coming, let us know, so at least we can book for vaguely the right amount of people. So the last thing we want to do is upset the lovely people who work in Bodine so they stop making us delicious meat. That we need to do that at the start of next week's show, Pat. Remind me.
I'll put it on the notes to do start next week's show.
See you next week, boys and girls.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for listening.
You're welcome.